Hello, hi, welcome to Share the Week Live.
Oh my god!
From social isolation, I guess.
Social distancing. We're socially distancing. We're working from home.
Warriors.
Yes, I can imagine a lot of you people are as well. Hello, let us know how we're looking and sounding.
Hello.
Boy, oh boy, this is a new setup for us. It's we've got our individual webcams pointed at our individual faces in our individual houses, and it's all pretty crazy. So let us know how it's looking and sounding. Hopefully,
how's everyone doing?
Hear us well.
Are you washing your hands?
Yes, please tell me you're washing your hands. It looks like everyone's saying hello and saying hope we're all well. I think we are all well at the moment, right? No coughs or sniffles or anything.
All good so far. Thanks for asking.
Everyone's saying that Carl Davies says we're isolated together. Yes, we are. Obviously a bit different from a usual Show the Week Live, but hopefully still quite a lot of fun. We're going to talk a bit about Doom Eternal, which is the big news at the moment this week, if you don't count Animal Crossing, which is probably the bigger news.
I count Animal Crossing.
I count Animal Crossing also. This is cool. I'm above you two, so I can drop things on your head.
No, in my window you're below.
Well, on the actual live stream that everyone's watching, I'm at.
I see.
It's like a podium at the end of Mario.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So if I go, hang on, if I go like this.
No, get off.
That way?
Off.
It's like we've just discovered video calls for the first time.
We're like University Challenge. To Cambridge.
Yeah.
I got a bell here.
Yeah, so we're powering this with a weird Google Hangouts Frankenstein's monster of technology. So apologies if there are slight visual or audio issues, but hopefully we're coming through sounding reasonably good. We've got a new member in the shape of Trey Zen. I'm assuming it can't be too terrible if someone joined on the basis of this. Rompon3 says Andy has the high ground.
Yeah. It's over, Mike and Jane. I have the high ground.
So bit of news. What have people been keeping an eye on this week?
Oh, there's a Resident Evil 3 demo coming out
tomorrow.
Yes, is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I think it's what I played for preview, but they wouldn't let me capture it then. So
you're gonna play it again?
So I'm gonna play again. Yeah, it was good though.
Cool.
Like nice chunk of downtown.
Yeah, they let you capture the multiplayer, right? But the single player footage we had was provided by Capcom.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again. It was really good, really atmospheric, really good chunk of the game to play.
Oh wait, I just like this comment here from Andy McP who says, it's all fun and games until it devolves into a cheap Netflix horror movie.
That's exactly.
I don't know if you've seen any of those social media video conferencing horror films.
Someone's feed's dead.
Footage. I'm so here for it.
Wait a second, guys. I can hear ragged breathing from the hallway.
Who is that? Who else is on this call?
I think there's anyone else home. I'm just going to go and check.
No.
Anyway, we've got a comment from Ash Ketchum in the Rye who says best conference call ever. We're going to be doing a PowerPoint later on.
True horror is Mike's PowerPoint presentation.
Anyone who's watched the PS4 live stream that just happened has
PS5.
PS5
now.
PS5 thing. They've had enough PowerPoint for one day, probably.
Says from there, Mike there.
Yeah, we're here for, isn't it?
Dragging Mark Cerny.
The gloves are off, the hands are washed. Here we go. Dekase says, my animation studio has us on shifts to limit people in the office until a work-at-home solution is ready. Fun times, man. Yeah. I think this is a fairly obviously a global thing, basically. I think pretty much everyone, even if they're not unwell, is trying to limit the amount of time they're spending outdoors or on public transport or wherever, in the pub. We're doing exactly the same. It's the same for us as it is for you, and we will do our best to keep the videos flowing so you've got something to watch while you're self-isolating.
Yeah.
Right? Here's live stream.
Until Animal Crossing comes out, and then
and then all bets are up.
All bets, that's all I'm doing.
And then Andy will cease to be on the internet.
Yeah.
Except in the form of an Animal Crossing villager.
plotting the downfall.
Comment here from Catherine Hunold, who says, "Lost my job this week due to Corona shutdowns.
Oh
But
no!
your streams are helping keep my spirits up. Thank you all for being a source of joy, distraction for lots of folks lately. Stay safe out there. You too, Catherine. Sorry to hear about it. That's a rough deal on top of an already rough deal. So sorry about it.
And hope things pick up soon. And we're happy to sort of give you a bit of a distraction. We will keep being a distraction.
We're very distracting.
Yes.
Or we try to be.
I tell you what's distracting is Mike's ridiculous chair. Are you a pro?
Oh yeah.
Are you a pro gamer?
As if Mike could do this stream without the pro chair.
You guys don't know what you're missing.
Are you not just sat on a crate like the rest of us, Mike, on a wooden box?
No, I have a sports chair. Look.
What are you on?
Mine to sit on was a spike. The crate's already taken.
Oh.
No, I'm very
I'm on a comfy sofa, which is not too bad, I gotta say.
Let me tell you about how much my lumbar is supported.
I don't even know what a
my lumbar is so unsupported right now. Oh.
So, who watched the PS5 stream that just happened?
I did.
Do you think that was supposed to be for the public?
No, not really.
They set their internal presentation live.
There were people in the crowd. I saw silhouettes in front of.
Yeah, it was like Mystery Science.
They were real. I saw them moving.
No, you imagined it. I'm sure they were cut out.
There were like 700,000 people watching that PlayStation 5 stream. So I feel like it's a really great audience. Maybe a bit of a wasted opportunity. Could have had some games.
You've been keeping up on these new consoles.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Did anyone see Mike's video on the Xbox Series X?
Yeah, let us know if you saw that video. I think from what I could tell from the PS5 thing, it's a lot of the same noises that Microsoft are making. It's like SSDs, so faster loading and, all that sort of thing. It's 3D audio, which seems to be a new thing that they're both kind of pushing forward, and ray tracing in terms of the visuals. And so I think the specs of these two consoles are going to be very, very similar. So I think more than ever, it's going to come down to whether you want to play Sony's games or whether you want to play Microsoft's games. And I guess the one thing that Microsoft has that is of benefit to them is that their backwards compatibility stuff is already established and existing, whereas Sony have said they're doing backwards compatibility this time. You'll be able to play PS4 games on your PS5, so that they've kind of learnt their lesson.
Just PS4. They didn't say PS3 games, did they?
No. Who's
playing PS3 games, Andy, on their PS5? Tell me.
Maybe I want to someday. Take
That's
that
backwards compatibility all over, isn't it? The thing you want to have, but will probably not ever use.
I will sulk it forever and never use it.
The one PS2 original Xbox era game that I have played a lot of on backwards compatibility is SSX3, which was amazing, and it's in 4K now on a One X. It looks incredible. Such a good game.
Okay.
I would stream it, but the main thing about that game is the amazing soundtrack, which would get us immediately demonetized and thrown off YouTube. Otherwise, I would live stream it.
They probably don't have a streaming mode in a game from 15 years ago.
That's true.
It would have been very far-sighted for them to add a streaming mode.
To be honest, I think you can turn the music off, and it gives you these kind of like mountain ambient sounds, which is really cool.
Oh,
but it's not exactly the banging party.
No, it's not true to the spirit.
Yeah.
John Joplin in the comments says, Mike, that Xbox Series X video was excellent. What do you guys think about the rumours that the PS5 is going to be more powerful? Well, we can speak to those rumours right now, can't we, really?
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty much equivalent. I think, and also, I feel like generally, in terms of graphics, like, it's kind of diminishing returns. Like, visual fidelity has gotten, amazing now. But the leaps that you saw between, say, PS1 and PS2 and PS2 and Xbox 360 and things like that, they're just not going to happen anymore because the level of fidelity is already so high. It's really, really tiny things. So more powerful in that sense, it's kind of irrelevant. So it's going to come down to other things like software and additional stuff like streaming services that you can play and storage. It sounded like one of the things I picked up on in the Mark Cerny thing in between my micro naps that I kept having to have was that
increasing long blinks.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like they're going quite conservative in terms of the size, the amount of storage on it. He was sort of almost making excuses for how small the SSD, which is the equivalent of the hard drive in your console, will be. I think he was saying about 800 gigabytes or something, which seems small, like less than a terabyte. So, maybe that's going to be a key thing, how much storage you have. And, the Series X has this little memory card expansion type thing. And so that might be a factor in how much that costs. So there's lots
we're running the risk of becoming like the Mark Cerny.
Well, quite, yeah, indeed. I've got to mention this comment from Person McReal fellow who says, Jane stole Mike's Coke because it must have looked like you reached across. And took a Coke from me.
Andy, do you want some of my Coke?
Can you pass it to me? I have to go.
We should really have organised some gags for this, where we actually have the same items.
You got it?
I think. Wait.
Yeah.
That should be it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm reaching down. Cool. Got it. Thanks.
We'll never get old.
Wait. Andy, do you have an Xbox controller near you?
No, not near me.
Oh, right. Okay. I could have passed you one up.
I'm in an extremely precarious.
It's going to be the next hour, folks, where we do like Brady Bunch, university challenge jokes.
I'm basically nested into a cube now. It'll take about half an hour.
I saw a comment who's scrolled off my screen now. I'm sorry. Oh no, John Briggs says, I just joined in. Are you in isolation? I feel like we've got 2,000 people watching now, and we only explained what was going on right at the top of the show. So just to recap, we are working from home mostly these days. We're social distancing, and this is our way of bringing you Show of the Week live in a way where we don't cough on each other or touch each other's faces. So
cough on any vulnerable people.
Yes, absolutely. Cough on elderly people or immunosuppressed people. In fact, we're not coughing on anyone. We're just trying to keep ourselves to ourselves.
I love the
it's hard because my main hobby is coughing.
Each other's faces.
I mean, that's what I'm mostly missing working from home is just
all the face touching,
covering everyone's faces. So, but I hope everyone's washing their hands, and I hope everyone's looking after themselves and each other.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely.
An interesting thing about why soap kills viruses.
Oh yeah,
it's not antibacterial, but it breaks up the things that.
It's the alcohol. It's the precious alcohol. Are you talking about hand sanitizer or soap?
Soap.
Oh, sorry. It's in the hand sanitizer. The alcohol.
Viruses together, so they can't stick together anymore. It's like way more effective than alcohol hand sanitizer. Apparently.
Oh, good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm learning lots
Geordie
about.
Den Hartog in the comments says, you've helped many of us get through smaller personal crises. This big one will be no different. Thank you guys for bringing this much joy, which is so sweet. Thank you, Geordie.
Thank you.
Very sweet. Archie McDonald says, "Hey guys, my Doom Eternal has arrived, so I'm going to go and do that now. Don't blame me.
So early. Are they sending it out early because of the situation?
Maybe.
Because it's not out till the 20th, right? It's
release date. Right?
The release date is the 20th.
Friday.
Yeah. But maybe they're sending it out early just to be nice.
Well, maybe people are sending orders out like in the assumption that they might end up shut down for
that things are going to get tricky. Logistics are going to be a challenge, so they're like, let's just start sending them now. That would be cool. Let us know if you've ordered Doom and you've got it at home now.
You've been playing it, right, Jane?
Yes, I've been playing it. I have been playing Doom Eternal. Me and Luke both have been playing a bunch of Doom Eternal. In fact, you could have seen Luke, maybe you did see Luke playing Doom Eternal live over on Outside Extra earlier this afternoon. He was doing really well. Did you catch any of it?
I missed it.
He is actually phenomenally good at Doom, and I didn't observe, like, this is his secret. It appears to be his secret. He is so chill, like so zen. He's like the opposite of Doom while playing Doom, where he's just like he's like someone in the comments said he's like Bob Ross, but instead of painting, he's playing Doom Eternal. It's well worth checking out because it's like he goes into this kind of tranquil, like meditative state, and he's just going around killing mancubuses.
You know, in a kung fu movie where like the old master gets attacked by someone, and he's just like,
he's like, this isn't a problem. It's fine. So definitely check that out. I am the opposite of that. I'm very much panicking when I play Doom. I'm in a constant state of high alert. When my personal bane is the Hell Knight, which are just these like big, chunky boys, just big muscular dudes running around, making my life hell. And if you had a third-person perspective, like a cinematic camera, like GTA, of my game of Doom Eternal, it would be my Doom guy going, Hell Knight, just like fleeing. Because you can generally get away from anything. You're very agile, very mobile with like the double dash and the jump and the swing and lots of agility stuff. So you can always play something.
You captured for us.
Yeah, we've got some
gameplay actually. If you want to talk about Doom, let's go.
Let's talk about Doom.
Tell me about
Okay, let's seg into the Doom Eternal portion of this show.
So I've got a bunch of shotgunning, and there's like the grappling hook as well. So you're talking about mobility.
Yes.
How is the sort of grappling hook and the mobility stuff?
So the meat hook is a grappling hook that can only grapple to meat, i.e. to bad guys. It's like a shotgun attachment. It's
like
pretty
a meat-seeking missile.
Huh?
Like a meat-seeking missile.
Like a meat-seeking missile. I can't believe you said it, and now it's connected to the internet. It is exactly that. Yeah, there's a lot of agility stuff. There's a lot of clambering, a lot of platforming. It feels good when it's right. It feels really good. When it doesn't, you're like, why am I doing so much platforming in Doom? But it does feel, and I keep referencing this. Do you remember back when you first played Doom Eternal? There was like a press kind of preview build, and it felt really fiddly, kind of aggravatingly fiddly. It is way better than that. The platforming is good fun. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but like the mid-air double dash, and then you hit like a double dash refill, and then so you're basically just like flying, just like zooming through the air. Feels pretty dang good, I gotta say. That's
amazing. I'm seeing a lot of colourful stuff flying out of enemies.
Like a loot shower.
Well, it's like a kind of rock paper scissors thing, where the different ways that you kill enemies give you different resources.
Right. Yeah, I've heard it described now as like a weirdly violent resource management game. But hear me out.
Okay.
The combat in Doom Eternal, like if you want to harvest armor pieces, you've got to like set them on fire with your flame belch. So you kind of set something on fire and then kill it, and it spawns lots of like green armor shards. And if you chainsaw something, then it drops lots of ammo. And if you glory kill it, which is when you stagger it and then do like a really disgustingly awful like finisher on it, then you get some health out of it. And then there's blood punch, which is sorry.
And what's the science behind this?
The science behind it is hell science, which is it all checks out if you do your hell science.
Right, okay.
I'm no hell scientist, but it all seems legit to me.
Oh my god, it's got swinging on bars, Jane. What the hell?
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm talking about. Like, Doom guys suddenly become like an Olympic gymnast. It's just, like swinging and leaping and climbing and clambering. Yeah. It's it mixes it up. And also you can see from I think you can see from the environments in this B-roll. There's a lot of variety in the environments. You go to this kind of like icy, frosty planet. Yep. So, it doesn't feel like Doom 1.5. It is very much a new, big old game. It's big as well. Sorry?
I can't believe how much climbing you're doing.
Yes, I did pick out this gameplay, and I know there's quite a lot of climbing and platforming in it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to over-represent it, but I did want to show you it as like a point of difference.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Game. But obviously it's mostly about the combat, and the combat is really awesome, really like disgustingly chunkily great.
How's the hand acting in it?
The hand acting, oh my god, so good. Best hand acting. You just saw it when he was climbing. He climbed so angrily. When he like grabs a wall, he's like He's furious.
It's like F this wall.
Just furious hand acting. Yeah.
He's currently hand punching some things at the moment.
Oh yes, that's quite furious as well.
In terms of the resource management thing, though, does it get in the way? Because I only ever played a very short amount of this, like at E3 last year or whatever it was. And it was a little bit overwhelming. It did feel sort of like the thing that caused me to fail was poor resource management rather than being bad at shooting.
It's definitely part of the play style that the game is encouraging you to pick up. So you're not just thinking about being good at shooting, because actually I think as a shooter it's quite forgiving. It's much more about, finding... Oh, in fact, Andy, you had a nice description for this. It's a bit like a skating game. Right?
Oh yeah, like Tony Hawk, where you're trying to keep your combo going.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to keep a combo up. You're trying to chain together your resource management. You're like, do I need to top up my ammo or my armor or my health? And, everything's going to be kind of, rising and falling. And you're just trying to keep yourself alive and armored and ammoed while doing some cool tricks.
Is it
I'm
a bit
getting
like
told off in the chat for touching my face, but I'm in my house and I've washed my hands. So.
Don't do it.
Is it a bit like MMO cooldown management? Is that? Is it?
I mean, it's a lot more intense than MMO cooldown management.
I would know if I
suppose
ever
you
played
can
an MMO at all.
It's definitely something to get used to, but I think it's a fun challenge once you go, okay, now I see it's this for ammo, this for armor, this for health, this for blood punch. Yeah.
Well, you just chainsawed someone, so you will have gotten something from that. Right?
Chainsaw gets you ammo. Yeah,
Right.
it is a bit rock. I was going to say rock paper shotgun. I meant to say rock paper scissors, and like you compare it to.
It does look good, though. I mean, so is this in hell, this icy place, or is it a?
No. In fact, I was just going to get onto this. Like, if you like deep Doom lore, well,
Yeah.
today is your lucky day, or Friday is your lucky day, according to your delivery. Because you're like, oh, we're on the Sentinel homeworld, of course, where the Civil War happened between the Sentinels and the other faction, and they're all gone now. And I'm like, I do not remember this from Doom 1. So
Doom 1's plot was written on the back of a napkin by John Romero.
they've really delved into the kind of deep Doom lore, which is it's impressive. It's like you say, it's a mythos that if you're into, you are going to get a lot out of. If you're not into it, then some of it's going to like sail over your head. But then I think for a lot of people, they're not here for a deep, intricate plot. You know.
Yeah, I read the Eurogamer review of Doom, and it started off with that quote from John Romero about story in video games. And
Right. Okay.
yeah, it's
against it.
an extremely lascivious opening paragraph to a video game
You've got to
review.
do the quote now. I'm not even sure what you're referring to. You've got
It
to
says
say it.
that story in a video game is like
Right.
story in an adult film.
Oh,
Mm.
that's not true, John Romero.
Well, I mean, that was in the
I mean,
90s.
true for him, I suppose. True for his stuff. Yeah.
That's going to anger people both who like video games with stories in and people who make adult films with stories in.
Yeah, why is John Romero trying to annoy everyone?
He doesn't care who he ticks off. There's a comment here I want to read out. Athena the Wild says, "Hi, you three. So glad you found a way to do Show of the Week and that you're all staying safe and healthy. Thank you for all the videos in these hard times. Also, Andy is right. Soap is 10 times more effective than hand sanitizer from a junior biochemist." That's
Yeah,
Athena
so
the
wash your
Wild.
hands. It's so
Yeah.
water.
Fair enough.
Break up those chains.
Aw.
I'm liking the big doors as well. There's lots of complicated doors and weird switches. I saw a switch that was a skull earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Cell switches, yeah.
Switch.
Yeah, you
I
got-
mean, say what you like about Hell.
Yeah.
Decorators. They're doing good work.
They love a theme. They've got an aesthetic. It's like the same people who do theme parks, you know?
Yeah, Imagineers. Hell Imagineers.
The unhappiest place on earth.
Yay! That's good.
Wow.
Right, yeah, this looks great. I'll definitely play it, and it's been reviewing so well. Talking
Yes.
of reviews, like the scores have been bonkers.
I think it's going to be a really good game to double bill with Animal Crossing. They're sort of the opposite of each other.
when Tom Nook really ticks you off, you can go and murder a bunch of hell.
The yin and yang of video gaming. It's Doom
Yeah.
Eternal and
Yeah.
then Animal Crossing fitting together perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can just be on your couch with Doom, and then when
Yeah.
it all gets a bit much, you pause it. Out
Yeah.
comes the Switch. You can do some fishing or collect some fossils or something. Or
I wonder if they'll bring this to Switch because they brought the original Doom to Switch.
It is. It's coming to Switch. They haven't announced the release date, but it is going to be out on Switch. Obviously, it's coming out on PC, PS4, and Xbox on Friday. But Switch eventually, yeah,
Wizards, those absolute wizards.
they sure are.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But I recommend it, and also I think it's going to be good value for money. I get a feeling this game is chonky. It's going to keep you going for sure.
Multiplayer as well. Obviously, like the multiplayer will keep you busy for a while as well because it's a real tonic for the kind of Call of Duty,
Oh
modern-
yeah, that real old school deathmatch.
yeah, sort of
Yeah,
old school Twitch reflex stuff.
Yeah.
This crucified goat thing.
Oh yes, I'm glad you mentioned.
Why would you
Headbutt.
crucify a goat?
I don't know.
So
It's
we were fiddling with this. This is an abridged bit of this B-roll. We were fiddling with this seeming puzzle for quite a long time, and actually it's quite straightforward. You just have to kind of like dash and then
Punk in the face.
punk him
Yeah.
on the
Just
chest, and he falls over.
I mean,
So
that's just
there are
the first thing
puzzles. There are puzzles, but some of them are really quite straightforward. So don't overthink it.
Yeah, just honk things in the face if you get stuck.
Who's this Granak character who's trolling you? D. Granak.
Mike, I would love to tell you which of the hell priests or hell acolytes he is, but honestly, off the top of my head, I would be making it up.
I love that
there are
you're-
hell priests. I'm going to say maybe that's a hell priest, but off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Look like a hell priest. But that your objective was just take the train to the Terror Dome, which is
Yes.
the best video game objective I think I've ever.
Terradome!
Take the train to the Terror Dome.
It's the most-
Terradome.
Oh no, I've been putting this off.
Yes. Yeah, and that's about where it wraps up, off on the way to the Terradome.
Yeah, you're sort of in.
When are they
again,
going to get to the Terror Dome?
Sorry, folks, you're going to have to play Doom Eternal to see the Terradome.
Dang it.
All right, cool. Well, that was a good look at Doom Eternal. Let's see what the comments are saying.
Okay.
Here's a good question. Well, let's start from the bottom.
Okay.
Lord Poos 09 says Doom Guy is who Tom Nook sends when you haven't paid him back.
Oh gosh,
Fair enough.
I can fully believe it.
But this seems like we're encouraging Luke to introduce more to his like spidery
headcanon.
conspiracy theory about how Link and Doom are in the same universe.
I feel like Tom Nook would send Arthur Morgan. Isn't that Arthur Morgan's whole gig?
Yeah,
Collecting.
but he's too kind-hearted. You'd be like, you got some money for me, and they'd be like, oh, I had some problems, and then if you're playing it like me, I'd be like, I forgive all the debts, here's all of my money and my horse and my boots.
Oh, you'll never make it in the world of payday loans, Andy. You'd be a terrible loan shark.
Keep your money, get out of here.
Lord Poos 09 also says Doom Guy is angry mime confirmed. I guess that was
Mime.
Angry
angry hand mime.
hand acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Doom Guy's washing his hands because he's putting them in all sorts of.
He's got gloves on.
Yeah,
but he,
washing his gloves. If he's shaking hands later,
But if he touches his face, he's got like a big visor on. He'll be okay. He's like,
yeah. But if he's touching other people's face, actually, when he's touching your face, you're
He's taking their eyeballs out.
Yeah.
He's like got a cacodemon and he's like
If
gouging
Doom Guy's
his
touching your face,
eyeball.
you've got bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
so I've got a question here from gosh, we've got lots of questions actually. Thank you so much for all these coming through. But one from Kelsey Burns who says, any chance of a D&D stream similar to this format with EGX being postponed?
Let Mike explain to you why that's incredibly complicated.
It is incredibly complicated, but having set this up, and this seems to be going okay.
Mike, would you say that this setup that we're doing right now is way more complicated than it appears?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because the video chat is happening on my laptop and then is being streamed across the internet to my computer, and then the window is being captured by this thing, and then that goes into OBS, and then OBS streams it out. It's very, very, very complicated.
When do we get around to promising a D&D live stream?
Now, let's promise it now. Then I'll have to do it.
Yay!
All
I think we could make it happen. I think we would like very much to make a live streamed D&D Oxventure happen. But in the meantime, there's like an episode of Oxventure going up this Friday and another episode going up the Friday after that. So we've got a little time to figure things out.
Yep. I've got a little time to figure things out. Yeah, we'll work it out, and I'm sure we'll be able to do something. Definitely.
Andy, episode 2 of Oxventure
Yes.
going up on
Oh,
Friday.
yeah. Spoilers.
How's it going to be?
Oh, it's
You edited it?
great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. To watch, what can I give away? Yeah, we do a little bit of splitting the party. Not loads, but let's just say Mike is basically having his own adventure elsewhere.
Yay! It's a Mike.
Well,
It's the Mike spin-off, the Egbert
Yeah.
spin-off you've been waiting for.
It's like the A and B plot in a sitcom. We've like got the A plot where we're trying to do the actual story.
Oh, burn!
And Mike,
no.
no, because we're doing the actual story, and Mike's just doing the delightful cutaways.
I was doing a different bit of the story. But anyway, it's fine. You'll find out more about this tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, day after. It's only
yeah, sorry.
Wednesday.
I feel like it's Thursday. I feel like
I too am losing track of the days.
yeah,
at the
exactly,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Harry GTT says, "Could this call be an email?" It'd be a really long email.
We could just email all of you, all like 2,700 of you, just the
Yeah.
script to the show.
Yeah.
Chicken Parmesan says, working from home, waiting for IT to set up my work from home, happily killing time, watching this and taking a couple of selfies of my husky and I. This is the time when I wish I had a cat or a dog, especially a husky, to
Yeah.
just hang out with at home. That would make working from home much, much more entertaining.
Definitely. Gentleman Drill says, I think Rock Paper Shotgun should be a thing. It is a thing. It's a website. It's a PC gaming website. It's very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it trips off the tongue actually easier than Rock Paper Scissors, I find.
It's true.
But then Shotgun beats everything, so it doesn't really work in a game of like Rock Paper Scissors.
Doesn't beat Super Shotgun.
I would say Rock Paper Shotgun, Super Shotgun. Okay.
What else have we got? Gosh, so many comments. Thank you for sending these through. Graham Rogers says, first live stream I've seen live thanks to working from home. If anyone can cheer us up during the apocalypse, it's you and of course Oxtra. Stay safe, everyone. Yes, stay safe to you too, and thanks for joining us. Yeah, I suspect, there's quite a lot of people watching at the moment. I suspect there's quite a few people who are working from home and no longer need to worry about their boss watching stream over their shoulder.
We can hang out during work hours.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
Zelen in the comments says, needed this today. Thanks for bringing Jane's pre-victims together. Yes, I'm running with it. Also, Ashes of Edenia is entering the studio next month. A little clarification there. Jane's pre-victims.
Oh, I heard, yeah.
Oh, okay. Andy already knows the backstory on this. For everyone else, I streamed 2 Point Hospital the other day. And now I can't remember how it came up. But we decided collaboratively as a group that, you know how Lady Gaga has her monsters?
Her little monsters.
Mariah Carey has her lambs, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have my pre-victim.
Pre-victims.
I think it was because I was doing such a terrible job at 2 Point Hospital and there were a lot of victims going around and a lot of people who were yet to become my victims.
Stephen Bill says, hi from Salt Lake City. We had an earthquake this morning on top of the COVID-19 stuff.
My goodness.
Dang.
Wow. Yeah, definitely stay safe, everyone there. Yeah, it's God, it's all going off basically.
Yeah, it's one thing on top of another.
Meg says, British student in Canada finally catching a live stream. I refuse to believe you and Oxboxtra don't all live together like in your Sims house. Oh yeah, we do. We're just
in different
we're
rooms.
in different rooms, yeah.
All the face touching that we were talking about.
We're taking the social distancing really far where we're not in the same room at the same time. We have to rotate through different rooms. If someone wants to be in the kitchen, then someone else has to go into the other room.
We've all got 6 foot long poles and we just have to make sure we're 6 feet away from each other.
Did you see that? That Microsoft live stream where everyone was sitting on stools but like a mile apart from each other?
Yeah.
It's setting a good example. It's good.
We're sort of lucky that we can make the stuff we make to a degree from home. But yeah, all these news channels and TV stations and radio stations and stuff are all having to work out exactly what the heck they're going to do over the next few weeks. I can't see this sort of going anywhere for many, many weeks. So I think a lot of adaptations, and obviously the person in the comments who mentioned they sort of lost their jobs, I think it's going to have a big effect on jobs and businesses and all sorts going on. So it's going to be crazy.
We're not going anywhere though, so
no, we've definitely got nowhere to go, and we can
as long as there's an internet.
Yeah, as long as there's an internet.
To hour 128 of this non-stop marathon stream.
It's going.
We'll stay here all social isolation if we have to.
Yeah, we'll do it. No, we definitely don't. I need to sleep and eat.
Oh no, we'll stream that, Mike. We've got to stream.
Zanzibar White says, here's the story of a channel called Xbox.
Yay!
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, we got the Brady Bunch set up.
I had to really scrape the bottom of my memory for the theme music to Brady Bunch. John Sharplin, we already mentioned that comment, but thank you.
Luke T. Clemens says, had a week off, but my team and I suddenly became the face of the BFI since festivals and cinemas closed. So back to work via home, loving all the streams. That's Luke T. Simmons, who we know works at the BFI, the British Film Institute. So, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Luke. Matthew Fronzo says, love you guys, here's some cash, which never hurts to hear. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate it. And Conf Rod says, I'm so glad you're getting this impromptu format for Show of the Week to work so well. It's a delight and a pleasant surprise. Keep it up.
It's a delight and a pleasant surprise to me too, the person who set it up. I'm glad it's working for people. And Josh Pierini says, thanks for being a great example of how to handle the situation and helping all of us cope. Other than gaming for work, what games do you plan to binge during this whole situation? Guys, what are you going to be playing?
Animal Crossing.
It's going to be Animal Crossing.
Doom Eternal. Do you know what? We played some Elder Scrolls Online the other day, and I was like, what if I got really into Elder Scrolls Online
Yeah.
in time for Greymore, and then I'd have like a leveled up character, and it would be like good times. So,
and we'd have someone on the channel who can actually play it.
I can be the Elder Scrolls Online correspondent. I can be the Greymore correspondent for Outside Xbox. Yeah.
I mean, it's
played and
one way
finished
to
this
get out
game
of that.
as well. That's something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't take long actually, but it was really good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
And I think it's on Game Pass now.
Oh, cool. Excellent. I've been not playing on Xbox, but I've been playing they added some stuff to Gran Turismo, which is like a Lewis Hamilton lap time thing, and it turns out he's quite a good driver. But I got...
What? When did that happen?
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm watching that Formula One Netflix documentary at the moment. I just
had
a Lewis Hamilton heavy episode. He's brilliant. He's
great.
Very sweet as well. Seems like a sweet guy.
He's a really nice dude, and he's sort of been, I think, using his massive platform for quite a lot of good recently, which is, a good thing, because a lot of celebrities are scared of sort of taking a stand about stuff, and I think he's trying to push things forward. He's got a vegan restaurant. Did you know that?
What?
He's got a vegan burger restaurant. It's called
We're
Meat
not
Burger.
turning this into a Lewis Hamilton love stream.
But let me tell you my other favourite thing about this. No, but that Netflix series is amazing, and you should definitely get to the final episode because it is. It's so freaking Hollywood. It's amazing.
Jane, you've got a bit blurry.
Oh, I've gone blurry. Oh no, my focus must have lost me. Hang on, let me fix that. I'm gonna fix it right now. Live fixing.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, good.
Cool. All right, good.
I feel lost without the structure of swooshy transitions.
I know.
Are we going to move on to the next bit of the show?
Do you want to talk about some comments?
We could do some. YouTube comments. Yeah, in an attempt to show some semblance of what this show used to be.
Let's smash a structure into this thing.
Okay, structure. Let's go.
I'll read you the first one. Hang on. So this is about the video, the D&D video, obviously episode 1 that went live last week. And Adam Preston says, "Always amuses me how much Johnny knows about whales compared to how much he's terrified of them." Yeah, Johnny has a whale phobia, right?
Yeah, he's terrified of whales, and yet in this episode, we all started making jokes about whales, and he was immediately informing us that our facts about whales were inaccurate.
I think it's like a know thy enemy kind of thing.
Yeah, if it's your greatest fear, you need to know all its potential weaknesses.
But then I feel like I don't know, like, for instance, all the weaknesses of a spider, which is maybe on me.
Yeah, that'll be your downfall, Jane, when a spider comes for you.
They've got one weakness, and it's putting a glass over them.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I do know everything I need to know.
Climbing up the sides of bathtubs.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, actually, now that I think about it.
A glass is more portable than a bathtub.
I learned a lot about ambergris.
I don't even know when you mentioned it. I had no idea what you were talking about.
You didn't know what ambergris was?
No idea. Could you explain what it is?
Yeah, go for it, Andy.
Okay, so it's like a whale waste product that in the digestive systems of only sperm whales, not other kinds of whales, and when it comes out, it just smells like poop. But if it's like aged and becomes hard, like it becomes a sort of waxy amber-like substance that has a kind of much more pleasant smell, and it's used as a fixative in perfumes, which is why it's so.
And it's very precious, like really, really expensive, right?
Yeah. Wow. There was a whole Bob's Burgers episode about it.
And Futurama one with a load of ambergris in it.
Precious ambergris, yeah.
Was that one of the latest series of Futurama? Because I do not remember.
Maybe.
Cool, fair enough. Well, there you go.
That's what ambergris means, is grey amber in French.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So yeah, we all learned something.
Comment. Sorry.
We all learned something. And also I learned about the aperture of various whale throats, because Johnny brought that up as well.
Yeah, he was like, you can put your fist through this one and...
You could choke a whale with the width of your bicep, depending on how big your bicep is, I suppose.
So
it's probably not mine.
Is Johnny specifically worried about being swallowed by a whale?
Johnny's explained this to me on one occasion, and I don't pretend to know his full thinking around whales, but he did say that he was quite scared of something that, say you were swimming, you were diving in the ocean, and there was a whale there, and it's just so freaking massive that it could kill you without even noticing. And it's just that kind of awesome, unimaginably gigantic kind of living creature that is quite spooky, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
It's that kind of Cthulhu, unknowable, gigantic. They're kind of real life Cthulhus, aren't they?
Kind of.
Well, but what about those giant squids that are even more like real life Cthulhu's?
They're not as big as a blue whale, though, are they? Not as big.
I don't know. I assume there's a giant squid living under the water that is the size of the Empire State Building. 'Cause how will we ever know?
This is Mike's presumptive biology here.
We know more about space than we know about the bottom of the ocean, according to something I read in the Cracker.
I
think
I
think that's why Johnny likes to learn more about whales, because it helps if they are less unknowable if you know more about them. So maybe they're less scary.
I think a shark's more likely to mess you up. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be afraid of sharks. Johnny can have whales.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
Can we move on to another comment from this?
Yeah, another
Please
comment.
do.
All right. Brent Durr says it's a humpback whale. Me, hey, just like Henry. Panniers emerges. Me. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not understand this. So please
Explain, Andy.
So
Give us the backstory.
you remember that in the second episode of D&D we ever did, this whale was in it, and Panniers
Right.
was in it.
Yeah.
It turned out we had already named the whale, or at least Ellen had, as Henry, the humpback whale.
I see.
And now in this one, he's called Panniers too.
Well,
More than one name. It can be
Yeah,
Henry the Fourth.
The way that I think about it is that the whale was called Henry, but then created this beautiful connection with Panniers.
yeah.
It's like, I want to be called Panniers too, so that I'm.
He
It's
chose
like,
his own name.
yeah, so they share a name, and it's brought them closer together. So actually, it's not a mistake.
Fair enough.
There you
Also,
go.
Panniers wasn't around when the whale was named by Merylware.
No,
right?
but Panniers has learned to speak whale while inside the whale. So
But maybe
they would have talked
Maybe
about
there's no translation for Henry in Wales.
it. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I don't understand those sounds. How
Yeah.
about Panniers too?"
Panniers too.
Maybe it's like whales are like the cats in Cats, where they have different names, like their private name and their public name.
Oh, yeah, that's it. It's
The
whale like
delicate
cats and
name.
cats. Perfect explanation.
That's what I'm going to do while I'm isolated.
Watch
is
Cats.
Watch Cats. It's just been
No.
added to digital things.
Don't do it.
I'm
Why
going to
would
drink.
you do it?
I'm going to drink through the drinks cabinet and watch Cats. It'll be great.
Oh no! Oh no! That's
That
gonna.
has got disaster written all over it.
I shall
things
report
going
back
out watching
in the
Cats.
next show of the week live.
It's going to be exactly The Shining. You're going to be limping around your garden with an axe.
Yeah. Next comment. Albie says, was excited to see you live at Birmingham. Shame it's been cancelled.
It's not been cancelled. It's been postponed until. Wait, when has it been postponed till?
End of June, was it?
Late June, yeah. If you go to the MCM website, they've got the new dates. And
Yeah, 27th to 28th of June.
Yeah. We yet to pin down the date we're going to move the Oxventure live show to, but we have every intention for taking that MCM Oxventure and moving it like the whole show into June.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed we'll see you there then. Hopefully catch you for that much belated show. Likewise, we had to cancel a couple of live shows at EGX Rezzed, which was going to take place at the end of March. That has been postponed as well, and we look forward.
We're hoping to get a date on that soon that we can share.
Yeah, there'll be more information on that soon, but we're going to take our Oxventure shows and move them likewise. So fingers crossed we'll get to catch everyone who wanted to see a live show just a few months late.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's a shame though. I mean, obviously it's all a shame and it's all like very hard times and difficult times. But on top of all of that, I was really looking forward to doing some live Oxventure.
Yeah, I was going to do all sorts with my facial hair.
Oh, you had plans?
Yeah, Luke's always wanted me to do mutton chops. Because
Oh.
he thinks mutton chops are cool. And as
Oh,
a special treat for Luke, I was going to do them for the last show, but now we're not doing
oh
it.
no! I
Well,
hope Luke's not watching. Luke
I'm-
will be so disappointed when he hears how he missed out.
I already told him
Oh,
No.
oh.
it's
Oh.
going to be a treat.
I promise that we will, if we do a D&D live stream, as mentioned earlier, which I promised, when we do a D&D live
Yeah.
we will dress up, right? We'll dress
Oh,
up.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. We'll be fully dressed.
So
For sure.
we will be fully dressed. That's a promise, I think, for hopefully all of the live streams.
Well, if we want them to not get taken off
Dressed
YouTube.
up. We'll be fully dressed up in costume, and we'll each be sat at home on Google Hangouts in our wizard robes and our horns. And then the Amazon Prime guy will turn up, and I'll have to answer the door dressed as a warlock.
Yeah.
It'll be great. It'll be good times.
Cool. All right. Well, another video this week was the Xbox Live Series X video. If you haven't seen it, it was a look at some of the first gameplay that's come out running on an Xbox Series X, and a look at how some of the decisions Microsoft have made for that console is going to change video games as we know it. So we've got a few comments here. First one is from Personal Persona, who says, there we go, I knew you guys would cover the news. Digital Foundry really killed it in both their videos. I've never seen a more in-depth analysis of hardware to the level of me barely understanding what they're talking about, lol. I can relate. Some of Rich's deep dive into the console was totally impenetrable.
He's in his element, though. You can tell. Like,
oh, he loves it. Yeah. Digital Foundry are all
Foundry's Rich Ledbetter. He knows his stuff, and then some more.
It's the bit that got me was when he was like, yes, rapid packed maths are back.
It's back.
What is it?
Finally. It's like, obviously you all know what rapid packed math is.
Yeah,
and it's back, baby. Yeah.
So yeah, he did all the kind of really deep dive stuff, and those videos are available on Digital Foundry. Obviously, our video was a bit more of a kind of top line. What does this mean for your games and what you're doing? So if you haven't caught that video and you have a bit of spare time, most of us have a bit of spare time, you should definitely check it out. It's on the channel. Yeah, check it out after the stream. There's a lot of cool stuff and some actual gameplay on Xbox Series X of an upgraded version of Gears of War 5 and a really fancy like Minecraft demo that adds all these ray traced lighting effects and things like that.
It's not quite the spectacular gameplay reveal I was hoping.
No, I think we'll get that.
Gears of War 5, and I'm like, oh.
Like
I didn't care the first time around. But I think we'll get all that stuff in June around when E3 was going to be.
Yes.
I think Microsoft probably have some quite big plans for that kind of period and doing something digitally and remotely that will not just be a PowerPoint presentation in front of a bunch of cardboard cutout silhouettes. But yeah, so yeah, look out for that stuff. Definitely. And I'm excited.
Halo Infinite, at the very least, a bit more Halo Infinite, right?
Definitely, 100%. That's got to be a launch title, surely.
Of course. Right.
Yeah.
What about Forza, Mike? What do you think the chances are? When will we see Forza on the new Xbox?
We will see Forza at launch, bang on, Forza 8. They've had an extra year to do it, bear in mind. So there wasn't a Forza game last year.
Yeah.
Year before was Horizon 4. So we will get Forza Motorsport 8 at launch for Xbox. It will look astonishing. It'll probably.
How will the stitching on the upholstery, on the steering wheel?
All I care about.
It will be so good. Even better than the stitching on my fancy gaming chair.
Oh, yeah, better than real.
But the key thing I think for Forza 8 is that they always, with the Forza games, they always push the technology to the kind of maximum that it can achieve. And so I think for the Series X, what that means is it will be 4K and 120 frames per second.
What?
Which is like, for a racing game, it's going to be amazing.
More than the human eye can see, surely.
I mean, it's definitely getting to the point where it's sort of imperceptible in motion. Like,
so you can feel the difference.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, so frame rate thing is just not to get too nerdy, but it makes things feel more responsive. So one of the reasons everyone used to love the Call of Duty games on the 360 and say that they felt amazing was because they were all like locked at 60 frames per second, and most games were 30 frames per second, so they just felt more responsive. So you know, it's going to be that again, basically. Plus, as you'll find out in the video, they've done a bunch of stuff with the way the signal from your controller goes back and forth to the console, and it's all synced up and stuff. There's all sorts of bonkers technology in there. So,
I just wanted to row back very briefly and very slightly. Did you see that Digital Foundry had done that thing where they take a CRT TV and was playing Doom Eternal on it?
Yes.
Okay. How did it look?
500 frames a second.
500 frames a second, Doom Eternal. What? It must be like looking through a tiny but real window into actual hell where Doom is. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
I'm going to check that out. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm imagining John Linneman was at the end of that video just sucked into it, like, and then now he's trapped in hell, banging against the CRT screen.
That's what happens when you mess with CRTs, kids.
Don't do them. Next comment. Ryuji Gaming says, I hope the PS5 turns out as good as how the new Xbox sounds. Also, I hope it has PS4 backwards compatibility. So yes, it does have PS4 backwards compatibility. They were saying it might not run everything at launch, but most of your most popular games will all run on there. So yeah, they've talked about backwards compatibility. It's definitely happening with PS4. It won't be as extensive as Xbox because Xbox has been doing backwards compatibility for the last like 5 years now. I think it was E3 2015 they announced that or something like that. It's a long time ago now. So they've got a bit of a head start, but Sony has recognized the importance of backwards compatibility. So your PS4 collection, if you own a PS4, will work on PS5. And in terms of whether it will be as good as the Xbox or not, I think it will, in terms of power and in terms of visuals, I think they're going to be pretty comparable.
You know how every generation they say it's all about the games? Like that's going to be more true now than ever before, right? Because they're going to be so close in terms of hardware specs.
But as Andy points out, the PS2 games and stuff aren't currently supported on PS4. I don't know if they'll come to PS5, but you'd hope that what Sony is working towards is that kind of ecosystem that Xbox has, is that any game with an Xbox logo on it, even back to the original one, has a chance of running on your Xbox. So
I was saying this earlier this week. I think that PS5 is a better name than Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
So I don't think Xbox Series X makes it clear that it's like the next generation console.
Especially not when we've had the Xbox One X. Yeah.
It makes you think it's another sort of step increment increase. As opposed to PS5, it's very clear that the PS5 is the new thing.
Is the next one after PS4, yeah. I know what you mean. It's been confused a bit, hasn't it, by the by that sort of mid-generation One X and PS4 Pro thing. But like you say, you know, PS4 Pro is a more upgraded kind of PS4, and you could understand that maybe an Xbox One and an Xbox One X had that kind of relationship. But because the Series X has the X in it from the One X, it's really the sort of continuity of it all. But I totally take that point. I think by the time whatever the replacement for E3 has happened, and by the time we get to the point where those consoles launch, I think everyone will kind of know what they are. But that definitely hurts.
What I said about the Wii U, though.
Yeah, they definitely.
I like that comment from A. Henderson. Exactly to your point there, Andy. Says Wii U situation. Do you remember when they first announced the Wii U and everyone was like, "Is it a new console? Is it do I plug it into my Wii? What happens?" You know.
But in a way, it's sort of this generation, and it'll be the same with the PS5 backwards compatibility thing. It's going to feel less like a new console than ever before, because I think when you fire up an Xbox Series X, I think the menus are going to look pretty similar to your Xbox One. Like all the games you previously had will be there in the ready to install thing, or you'll be able to stick the disc in and run them. Like it's getting more like a kind of mobile phone thing, where if you buy a new iPhone, it like the interface looks the same, everything you owned previously works on it. It's a generation, it's a new generation, but in a very different way from that we've ever seen before, I think.
Okay, cool.
We have a final comment from that video as well. The Dave York says, so we're going back to using memory cards with this generation. It's been a while since I took my PS1 memory card over to my mate's house. Haha. Yeah, sort of memory. Obviously, cloud saves still exist, and you'll still be able to download your saves.
Those old Xbox 360 memory units.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was a really useful way to like take your profile around with you, because you didn't like kind of have. If you wanted to download your profile, it took ages. Do you remember? It would be like you have to work it all out. Whereas if you had a memory card, you just plugged it into whatever Xbox, and it works perfectly. What's interesting about the little storage thing is that it's an SSD that's the same speed as the one in inside the console itself. So you can run. It's the only way you can add storage that you can run games from. You can't just plug in a USB 3 hard drive and run Series X games on it, because they're too big and they require much faster loading times to work. You can, if you want to have Xbox One games or original Xbox or 360 games, you can load those to a USB 3 drive and run those from that drive. So what the best way to do it would be to load all of your Series X games onto either the internal or this expansion slot thing. And then if you want to play backwards compatible games, have them on like a hard drive that is slower and cheaper, basically.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, it is a weird division that you haven't really had to think about before. But it is good that they have that expansion slot. And this PS5 talk thing that just happened, they've said that you're going to be able to buy an SSD kind of off the shelf, like a PC style one, and plug it in. There'll be a bay specifically for that. So I think they've recognized that expandable storage is going to be a bit more complicated this generation than it was previously.
Can I play GameCube games on it though?
Depends on if it's Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil Zero Remake, or whatever.
No
Yes.
sale.
Come on, you love those games.
Yeah, no, it's true, I do.
Let's have a look at some of the other comments in the.
I like this comment here from Andy McP, who called me out. It says useful up until Jane Shepherd gets a spin in the washing machine. I feel like that's a reference to a real thing because I did lose my Mass Effect 1 Shepherd on a USB stick. Never to
then
be
you started
found
playing
again.
with my Shepherd and criticizing his cool mustache.
Oh yeah, I had to inherit your Shepherd in their place. Yeah.
It's worth pointing out on that note that this expansion memory card thing is not going to be like 30 quid. It's going to be like 200 quid or something. It's going to
So when I put it in the washing machine, it's going to cost me a lot of money.
Yes, yeah, I would guard it with your life, basically.
No.
But I do think that I said this in the video as well. I do think that's going to be like kind of an essential purchase because you're going to fill up the drive inside the console so quickly. It's just going to, your first 2 or 3 Series X games are going to be hundreds of gigabytes, and then you'll be full basically. And with stuff like Game Pass and things like that, there's a chance you'll be just filling that console up instantly, basically. So I think this expansion drive, rather than buying games, maybe, I think the way to do it is get a Game Pass subscription and then get the expandable storage thing, and then you're away, basically.
You think they're going to have to bundle them? You're going to be buying them, as a set?
I think they should bundle them because they make bundles, retailers make bundles of just about everything. But I think that's one where if you can shave a bit of money off the price of that SSD, you will be doing all right.
Okay. A comment here from random username for Chris, who says, thanks for continuing to provide entertainment. Awaiting Doom Eternal delivery. Happily, my niece was born early morning today. Congratulations, wonderful random username for Chris.
Speaking of congratulations,
delivery of Doom Eternal and a nice. Sorry, Andy, what did you say?
Speaking of congratulations, we missed some messages from Beth Bloomer, who's getting married, or it's supposed to be, and hopefully it doesn't get cancelled. But it sounds awesome. They're forging a sword to cut the cake with.
Whoa, Beth, that's hardcore.
Wow. That is epic.
That's really metal. Congratulations, Beth, and your betrothed.
What you need to do is when it's the end of the wedding and it's time for everyone to clear the dance floor, you should just play the Reigns of Castamere and come out waving the sword, and then you'll clear the room very quickly.
Right, that's what you want to do. Scare all the guests home.
Wow, yeah, we've got loads and loads of comments.
Let's have them.
Thank you so much for all this stuff. Mr. Dude Shut Up 123 says, hey guys, was curious if you're going to do a 24-hour stream like you did for the Xbox One launch for the Series X. We didn't do a 24-hour stream, we did a 6-hour
stream. It felt like a 24-hour stream.
It felt like 24 hours, Mike, and that's what matters.
How many hours did we do when the Xbox One first came out? We did a long stream.
6.
We did a long stream.
6 hours. Yeah.
We will almost certainly do a long stream when the Series X comes out, but it probably won't be 24 hours.
Oh my god. Yeah, we played Rise. Do you remember Rise? Son of Rome?
Yeah, we played Zoo Tycoon.
Battlefield 3, Forza 5.
Dead Rising. The new Dead Rising.
Was that 2013?
Yes. I want to say
2013 or 2014. Long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, good times. Are we going to do a 6-hour stream? Maybe. 24 hours? Who knows?
I mean, I will definitely at some point on launch day probably be playing that thing for 6 hours anyway. I might as well stream it, so I think it'll be fine.
Okay, good.
Just No Yes says, Andy, when's your first wrestling match?
Oh, my wrestling school's closed down because of the coronavirus currently. So
was your wrestling school where they did that live stream, the Wrestle Talk live stream from?
No, that was a different. That was a place near Euston. The one I go to is more in East London.
It was cool though. Like, so they did a wrestling show in front of no audience because obviously wrestlers who are performers and have to perform in front of crowds and stuff are going to be quite badly hit by no mass gatherings and things like that. So they did a sort of live show and live streamed it and had donations and things like that, which was really, really cool. Yeah,
they had 12,000 people watching it.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Over 10 grand for the wrestlers, which is cool.
I want to do a quick shout out for Luke and or Ellen, whichever member of Outside Extra, perhaps both, is in the comments busting the sex bots.
Sex bots.
Yeah, good job. You're doing great work, Sam. Luke and or Ellen.
Yeah, thank you for that. Kevin F says, oh my god, you've been trapped in individual green boxes, but seriously, way to go distancing yourself socially. Yeah, I think it's important, right? Like, it's good to do.
Yeah, we're doing our best for ourselves and our loved ones, but also everyone else.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone else who is vulnerable to this, obviously we are ourselves not the most at risk, but that's how it all works, right? We got to take care of each other.
Yep, absolutely. Infelix Soror says, "Hey, Mike, get yourself a drink when it's finally safe to go to the pub again." I absolutely will. Thank you very much for that. Jeremy,
there's both, I think. So I think Luke and Ellen are both in there. I want a question here for you from Bob P. Caramel, Andy. Andy's actually going to wrestling school. What's his finishing move? Is there such a thing as a finishing move?
In wrestling, all wrestlers have got a
finish. I thought that was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, then it's not a fatality, James.
They don't die of it.
No, right. I was thinking of fatalities.
Yes, yeah. I don't know.
Fatality, Andy?
They discourage you from focusing on the cool elements of wrestling if they want to know that you take it seriously. So you've got to do a load of grappling and chain wrestling. And if you're like, I want my finishing move to be this, they're like, focus on chain wrestling.
And you're like, where do I put this coffin that I want to rise out of at the beginning of a match?
Yeah. That said, I mean, there are two main kinds of wrestling finishing moves: submissions and sort of slams, or right. So, and you want something that you can do to anyone, regardless of the size, and also one that looks devastating. So, if anyone has any suggestions in the comments, I want like a slam or some kind of like something like that, not a submission. Let me know what you think.
We can collaboratively create Andy's finishing move.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay!
No, amazing. That so that show that we were watching the other night, Will Ospreay's Stormbreaker move, where people just seem to rotate in midair, and then he's sort of got them by both arms, and then throws them up in the air, and they spin around.
On his back, and he sort of slips them round into a. It's very impressive. But the main event of this Wrestle Talk showcase was Will Ospreay, who's a British wrestler from Essex. He was wrestling his girlfriend, Bea Priestley. And it was incredible. It was one of the best matches I've seen this year in an arena with absolutely no one. At one point, she reversed the Stormbreaker into a Canadian destroyer, and I know this means nothing to you, Jane, but that's very impressive.
It sounds cool. Stormbreaker sounds like a big double-handed sword or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the equivalent of that, but a wrestling move. Nice. So yeah, Andy, just steal that and put a different name on it. That's what everyone else does.
All right. Call it the Executioner. How about that?
Yeah.
Jeremy Rock says, sadly cannot work from home, but I've been listening to the OX family during my overnights for the mental stability. Much love from New York. Much love to New York as well. I think New York's probably in a similar situation to London in that it's a very densely populated city, and it's, probably makes a lot of sense to do your best to stay away. I understand that, some people just don't have the option of working from home, and that's, and
we're quite fortunate in that we do have that as an option, and for us, we do feel lucky.
Yeah, particularly if they're doing like essential work, not just sort of emergency services type stuff, but like grocery store attendants are really important in this sort of situation because people still need to go and buy food, and they're kind of on the front lines. So like, kudos to you if you have a sort of public facing job that needs to go on during this whole situation, basically.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gosh, we got through a few of these comments. Oh, Sans Silver says a lot of D&D games around the world will move to Roll20.net during the quarantine. It has AV. Maybe it's something you can look into to make it easier. I will look into Roll20.net. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's something that is like specific to D&D streaming. I'll check it out. Thank you for that.
That sounds good. Yeah, we need all the new expertise we can get on a very new idea for D&D, really.
Yeah.
I think it would be exciting. I think it'd be interesting, if not total chaos.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be total chaos as well, but hopefully...
Yeah, with an added layer of...
kind of total chaos.
Yeah. While you scout for comments, I want to talk briefly about what we've got coming up this week on Outside Xbox and Outside Extra. So tomorrow we've got a lovely list feature, as per usual, a classic list feature. So that was shot in a studio, so that's going to be business as very much as usual. So look out for that tomorrow afternoon. What's it on, Andy? What's the feature all about?
Tomorrow's one.
Yeah.
It's the cheating one, right?
Yes, it's about harsh punishments. Harsh but funny punishments for cheaters in video games.
Yeah, when a game realizes you're cheating and
it's like, why you? Yeah. And then on Friday on Outside Extra, we're going to have a Dungeons and Dragons episode.
It's going to be a premiere, so we'll be in the chat and you can watch it live with us.
I think Ellen's planning on streaming some Black Flag. She's going to crack on with her Black Flag stream tomorrow.
Also, we would like to play the Resident Evil 3 demo. We haven't quite decided how we're going to do that yet, if it's going to be a live stream, if it's not. I'm in the process of getting my live stream set up. That's why the screen is here now, and I've got the
Yeah.
big light over here.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get started streaming some stuff soon as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm really excited to play that Resident Evil 3 demo ever since you played Resident Evil 3 at that press event, Andy.
it's so
Looks
good,
so
so
good.
I can't wait. It's going to be such a good game.
Resi 2 demo was really good when, before that game came out as
It was a
well.
one-shot though, wasn't it? You only got one chance. And this one, it hasn't said anywhere that it's a one-shot. So
Oh my god. What if it is though? What if it's another one-shot demo?
I feel like legally they have to tell you. In the trailer.
It's like entrapment. Like if you're a cop, you
Yeah.
have to tell us we can only play you once.
All right, we're getting close to sort of an hour or so. So let's go through some final comments.
I know we've been going for an hour, Mike, because it's getting darker where you are. Like,
Yeah, you're getting plunged into darkness down there. In the bottom, right?
Oh, is this where the cheap Netflix horror movie happens? It's
Oh,
just
no,
I'm
Darkness.
actually taken off the side.
No.
Yes, so let's rattle through some comments. Kelsey
Okay.
Burns says, thanks for answering my question. I work in IT and I've been helping everyone get set up to work from home too, so I'm grateful for all the work you guys continue to put in for us. Time for work. We are happy to keep you entertained while you do that. Aline Brugger says, with all my uni classes being online now, I can finally watch you all live. Well, welcome. I hope you're enjoying it. Tyc just says, monies. Good luck or a quick death says, still working in Nashville. We've
Whoa.
had the virus, tornadoes, and it's currently flooding. Don't know
Oh,
who's playing
no.
strategy, but thanks for bringing some sanity to all this nonsense. Wow.
Oh,
Stay
best of
safe.
luck. That's
Yeah, stay
quite
safe.
a triple deal. Yeah.
Noah Barrio says, my favourite channel and for living in the country where the Beatles started. Thank you for your donation.
Oh wow.
They did.
I love getting credit for being in the same country that the Beatles started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they really took off in Germany. So credit to Germany as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Spirit was also born here. I'll take credit for that.
What else? Jason Statham. There you go.
Okay, Mike wants credit for Jason.
What's Jason Statham?
Full credit for Jason Statham's career.
Yeah.
Metabolics 40 says, don't bother with Greymore, Jane. There's no fishing in it.
What? You're telling me there's no fishing in Elder Scrolls Online? I just assumed there was fishing in Elder Scrolls Online. What the hell? What are you doing, Bethesda? Day one, fishing, easy. Oh well.
Lord Poos 09 says, so last week when I was playing Elder Scrolls Online, I was struggling in that area because the areas with the plus sign aren't intended to be done solo. You need a full party.
Yeah.
It says it's recommended to have a party, but it should still work if you're like a normal
It's
human.
just a guideline. You got completely owned going into those dungeons. Because not only were you on your own, but you're like level 8. You're level 8, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a scum fucker, basically.
Scaling can only go so far, I think.
It's true. What else we got? Jason Kwan says, I'm scared my Animal Crossing pre-order can't be picked up if EB Games closes on Friday. They won't release it early. In the meantime, here's something for the years of content. Thank you.
Aww.
Thank you for your donation. Oh,
Well,
man.
we've got fingers crossed for everyone who's got physical copies of Animal Crossing on order.
I've downloaded it already.
Yeah.
Really? Reloaded it. I'm looking forward to
like the
Half-Life
Twitch servers go down. Sorry, what's that, Mike?
I'm looking forward to Half-Life Alyx, which is coming out soon. I'll be,
Ooh.
I
yeah.
quite fancy disappearing into a virtual world and forgetting the horrors of the real world.
I want the horrors of another utopia. Yeah, the horrors of a different dystopia.
Different kind of horrors, though.
Yeah.
I think we should probably wrap it up there. Sorry we haven't gotten to all the comments, but there's loads of them. Absolutely loads of them. So
Thank you for being here. Like, it's amazing. 3,000 people. That's among the best streams we've ever had, really.
Yeah, so thank you for choosing to spend your time with us, and stay safe out there, and be well, and wash your hands and all that.
Wash your dang hands.
Wash your dang hands, everybody. But are we going to do this show again next Wednesday?
Yeah, we will do a live show on Wednesday, even if it is again from our sort of houses. We'll still be here. We'll still be making stuff for you, and if you'd like to join us, we'd be happy to have you here. And we will read all your comments afterwards ourselves as well. So thank you so much for sending them all in. All right,
Max, we've got to go turn some lights on. It's getting spooky where you are.
Yeah, I know, right? It's because I don't have any curtains in this room at the moment. I only moved in here 6 months ago, and I still don't have curtains. So.
That's a lot. Yeah, you should get some.
You've got a fancy racing gaming chair, but no.
Oh yeah, I've got that. That's just behind the screen. Absolutely, got to get your priorities right.
All
right,
Mike.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. And
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
This was fun. We'll see you soon.
Bye.